Europe is prepared to provide Ukraine with security guarantees, including the potential deployment of military forces. French President Emmanuel Macron stated this during his visit to the United States. He became the first European leader to visit Washington since Donald Trump began his second term as president. At the meeting, Macron emphasized that solidarity and US support would play a key role in any decision to deploy Western troops to Ukraine.
Today, deterrence has been restored. And this is exactly what President Trump means when he says there will be no more problems. I believe that the strength of American deterrence now creates uncertainty for Putin. This deterrence could make it possible, first and foremost, to reach a ceasefire, ensure compliance with it, and then negotiate a peace agreement that will allow Ukraine to rebuild and receive security guarantees. And within these security guarantees, we believe we have a role to play.
According to Politico, Emmanuel Macron traveled to Washington with concrete proposals for sending troops to Ukraine, and it appears that US President Donald Trump responded positively to the idea.
European troops may go into Ukraine as peacemakers. So when the agreement is done, they can watch that everything is followed properly. I don't think that's going to be a problem.
Journalists noted that the meeting between Macron and Trump took place in a friendly atmosphere. The leaders displayed mutual understanding built on years of strong relations. Analysts believe that the French president successfully fulfilled his mission, conveying pro-Ukrainian message to American president.
I don't separate Europe from Ukraine. And what happened? European representatives met with Trump in a serious and productive way before Putin did. Trump doesn't yet know whether he will meet with Putin before or after May 9th. So what happened? Europe spoke with Trump before Putin and delivered its message. It's no secret that Zelensky maintains close communication with President Macron.
Following his talks with US President, Emmanuel Macron stated that he sees a possibility for a ceasefire in Ukraine soon. According to him, a cessation of hostilities could take place within the coming weeks.
I want to say that after speaking with President Trump, I am convinced that there is a path forward. We have shared our convictions and our demands. We know that much work remains, so in the coming weeks, we will move forward together. Our teams, as well as myself, will have opportunities to meet in various formats to establish a stable and lasting peace.
The American and French delegations also discussed Washington's proposed deal with Kyiv regarding rare earth resources. For US President Donald Trump, securing a minerals agreement is of strategic importance. During talks with Emmanuel Macron, Trump stated that he plans to meet with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky at the White House as early as this week, or next to sign the relevant documents. Reported by Serhiy Kulias, Mykita Skoblikov, UATV News.
A peacekeeping mission in Ukraine is a key element of the British Prime Minister's plan. After concluding a peace agreement with Russia, European states pledged to send their troops to Ukraine to ensure the implementation of the agreements, and the US should be ready to attack if the Russian Federation breaks the agreement, the Telegraph writes. According to the publication sources, Keir Starmer plans to appeal to President Trump with a proposal to keep American fighter jets and missiles in Europe on alert to strike an aggressor if necessary.
The backstop could include U.S. fighter jets stationed in Romania and Poland, ready to respond to any future Russian aggression. A much larger multinational land force could also be based on NATO's eastern borders to move in if necessary to protect European troops inside Ukraine. From the Telegraph publication,
the UK's plan was backed by France. It was discussed by European leaders at a meeting in Paris. However, Washington has not yet announced its intentions to take part in the peacekeeping mission. On the contrary, Donald Trump's administration insists Europe should play a more active role in the issue of providing security guarantees to Ukraine.
I just got off the phone with my counterparts from the UK, France, and Germany and said, look, we welcome Europe stepping in and offering security guarantees. We've been asking for years for Europe to step up and contribute more to not only their own defense, but Ukraine's defense. Michael Waltz, United States National Security Advisor, in an interview with Fox News.
The president of France will also travel to the United States in the coming days, said Minister Delegate for European Affairs Benjamin Haddad.
He will come to speak for the Europeans and say that the future of Ukraine cannot be decided without them. Benjamin Haddad, Minister Delegate for European Affairs from Le Figaro publication.
France and its allies are firmly committed to ensuring strong and lasting peace in Ukraine, Emmanuel Macron said following the meeting of European leaders in Paris.
We stand with Ukraine and will take full responsibility to ensure peace and security in Europe. This is the fundamental interest of France, and I am its guarantor. Emmanuel Macron, President of France, on X social network.
According to the Washington Post, Kyiv's partners are ready to provide several brigades for potential deployment in Ukraine. At the same time, it is not expected that the peacekeepers will be on the contact line. They must be prepared to show force if Russian troops try to resume the war against Ukraine. The mission plans to involve aviation, drones, satellites, as well as maritime patrol ships in the Black Sea. All this should ensure the safety of commercial roads and contribute to the restoration of airspace for civil flights.
Under the Anglo-French plan, fewer than 30,000 European-led troops will be deployed to Ukrainian cities, ports, and other critical infrastructure sites, such as nuclear power stations, far away from the current front lines. Rather than stationing a much bigger force in the war-torn country, the mission will rely on technical monitoring, including intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance aircraft, drones, and satellites to provide a complete picture of what is going on. From the Telegraph publication,
the plans of Kyiv partners to station peacekeepers in Ukraine are categorically rejected in Russia. Putin's spokesman Peskov called them unacceptable. According to him, the participation of military personnel from NATO countries in the mission poses a threat to the security of the Russian Federation. The Kremlin is following the statements of the Prime Minister of the United States, Peskov added. Reported by Alexandra Zaslavets, Victoria Smirnova, UATV News.